maybe someone that's starting out as an agent.
Yeah.
In the first 3.5 years, should they have that same mindset of like everything else has got to clear out of my way so I can get to a place where I have consistent referrals? Or what's the balance look like there?
So, it's hard because, I've dealt with 1 million people, like legitimately around the world. And it doesn't matter what culture you go into, what society. It was just like talking about like being in Europe. In Europe, they don't talk about money. They don't talk about ambition. Right?
So what'd you talk about when you go out there?
Well, no, I talk about what I talk about, and I'm like, look, guys, wake up. Like, you're making, 60,000 euros a year, and so you have like beer money and pub money, and you can go see football games. But like, there's other people that are selling and need your services, and if you just get off your butt. So, it was like we have a lot of clients in Europe now. We're helping them move through that, and like in New Zealand, they call it the tall poppy syndrome, right? Like when somebody kind of steps up a little higher than everybody else, they cut their heads off.
Right.
So I'm telling them, like, wear like some iron around your neck because they're going to come after you. But like, look, the world needs people to step up and be big. So back to your question. First 3 years, this is what I tell people. If you are ambitious, and that's different for you, from me, from all of us sitting inside this room. If you're ambitious and you recognize that there's a 90% failure rate in all small businesses, there's an 87% failure rate in real estate every 5 years. Like the turnover is horrendous. And part of the reason why is it's not a lack of passion and desire, or it's just people just like, man, I could sell a couple houses now and then, and this is better than working at Denny's. Right. So for the ambitious people, here's what I say. For the first 2 to 3 years, it's learn, earn, learn, earn, learn, earn, learn, earn. A year of learning your clients, the market, the psychology, what to say. Shit, the MLS. Can you curse on this show? Sorry.
Yes, you can.
Like all
multiple times.
Like all of that
We bleep
stuff,
it out.
right? And the vast majority of people don't learn it.
Right.
They're still walking around going, "Hey, do you know my password for how do I get onto the?" And I got a client who's doing a search, and can you, right? And I'm not knocking those people because we were all new, right? But they've got to spend way more time rolling up their sleeves and learning.
Well, I think the biggest thing, I don't mean to interrupt there either, because obviously with us as a team, there's so many people that we have that are really doing all of that for them too. So I think
Makes them soft, by the way.
Well, and so I agree to that because I'd
Sorry
also
if you guys are the team.
we're all the team.
Okay. Yeah.
But I think it's important, regardless of whether you're on a team with someone doing it for you or not. Like, you need to just know it. Like, you should know it. You should know how to get in it. You should know how to produce it without relying on someone else to produce it. Because there's so many times in this business that
good comps on a property,
you're going to wake up at 8 a.m. and be like, oh my gosh, I don't know how to do a CMA, and like so-and-so's away, that's
scary.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I got to tell you a little story. Gary Vaynerchuk's sister, Liz, got into real estate.
On Carolyn's team, though.
Yeah, which is pretty cool, right?
Very cool. So
her year on her own, she was, she's a coaching client, and she texted me. It was like a random, like, just, hey, just thinking about you, saw something you did, whatever. And I'm like, hey, let's talk, right? So I call her on the phone. I'm like, how's it going?
Is that all it takes? Just like a drop, like, hey, and you like, hey.
And then if you're Gary Vaynerchuk's sister.
Well, no, I mean, like, hey,
I
this
just
guy
need to know.
texted
I
me.
just want to put on the record,
I just need to give you my cell phone, and the answer is yes.
Oh,
my
cool.
team knows, like, my phone is like constantly. There's a lot of chatter.
Yeah, I can imagine.
But the interesting part is I'm like, look, so you're brand new in real estate. I'm like, you have an unfair advantage, right? Your last name is going to help you and it's going to hurt you.
Right.
And I'm like, so this is my advice to you. Do you want to be really good in real estate? She's like, yeah, I do. I said, then my advice is you need to get on the phone every day for the next 12 months and call every expired, canceled, withdrawn in your marketplace without any desire to list the house. She's like, what? I said, I want you to have a yellow notepad, and I want you to document every phone call, every question, every person that hung up on you, every person that said, where were you when my home was on the market? I said, just what's going to happen is you're going to learn that there are only 4 major issues that these people have, and that after about the 50th time you've heard all 4, you're like, wait a minute. Let me Google what is the answer to the 4 questions. And there's myself or someone else, and probably you guys who've done a show, like, here's the 4 issues, here's how you solve them, here's how you do it in an elegant way. She said, I learned more in the first 3 months of doing that, she goes, than I learned in my entire first year in real estate. Because now I understand, like, all these people have is a massive unmet expectation, right? They listed with somebody, they thought it was going to sell, they probably chose the price, right? Or the agent wasn't, strong enough to say, boy, at that price, you would be the owner of the house. Like, do you guys want to buy it? Because that price is wrong.
Right.
Like, don't have that chutzpah, if you will. So she's like, it was unbelievable. And I wish that I do all these AMAs on Instagram. I tell everybody the same thing. Like, if you're new, go do the stuff that nobody else wants to do for a year, document the experience, track and measure everything, write down everything they say, and then when you call your friends, it's kind of easy.
Right.
And then I said, you could like tell a story like, oh, Byron, like really good to talk to you. Oh, how's the market? Well, it's interesting. In the last 12 months, I've talked to 367 people that their home was on the market and it didn't sell. And what I discovered was there was only 5 reasons why, but there were 7 things that just drove these people nuts. Are you interested? She's like, oh my God, that's awesome, right? Like, but that's the kind of story you can tell. Then they don't say, how long you been selling homes?
Right.
And she's not coming from a place of desperation.
At all.
Right.
At all.
Well, and she probably knows the market better than 99% of the people too.
She definitely knows why homes aren't selling.
Right.
Right. And it's not always price. It's oftentimes marketing. It's oftentimes positioning. It's oftentimes, just what's the vibe of the home when you walk in. Like, like all that, all those things that you guys know innately.
Yeah.
A new agent needs to understand what is the fastest way to do that. Throw them in the fire.
Hey guys, thanks for watching the video all the way to the end. I really appreciate all your engagement, all your comments, and if you like this content, if you want to see more, please, I've got 2 videos linked up here, or hit the subscribe button so that you never miss a video again.